And like I said, right out of the gate, we're gonna talk about Sangria Oak. Guys, this one right here is absolutely amazing. I love these presentations of the bottle, very sleek. Okay, but how does it smell, right? That's what you wanna know. This is a vibrant, almost effervescent, pick me up. You wanna be in a good mood, then this is the one for you. Sangria Oak is that good mood fragrance. It's uplifting. There's a blast of fruits in here coming from various different fruits that just smells absolutely amazing. And then as it starts to dry down, it's a little bit masculine. You're gonna pick up some boozy notes, sweet, fruity, fresh and masculine fragrance.
Sangria Oak. Now, if you've consumed sangria, you know sometimes it can have orange juice in it, it can have apples, there's citrus, it's boozy, of course, sometimes brandy I think is added in it. I haven't consumed in a very, very long time, but of course you have the rum in this fragrance, so that's what brings forth a little bit of the spice, but of course you also have this combination of saffron and cardamom, and I am surely getting a lot of saffron from this fragrance. It doesn't ever lean leathery though, which I think is really important, especially if you're trying to fulfill a certain concept in terms of a beverage or a place or whatever. You want to be mindful or conscientious of how much of a particular ingredient is being used, but of course with the expertise and the professionalism and the creativity of perfumer Richard Herpen, there is no doubting that this one is done exceptionally well. Now, right in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get that sangria accord. And what do I mean by that? I mean, it smells a little fruity, it's boozy, it's spicy, but there's this warmth about it that is really, really delightful. Whenever I think of warmth, I think of amber, I think of vanilla, perhaps some other sweet notes. And yes, I do think there's a little bit of labdanum in the dry down. So there are some resins leaning a little bit sweet because labdanum does have the propensity of leaning a little sweet. But then you also have the oak. And of course, you think of a lot of these spirits or other types of beverages are being aged in oak barrels. So it kind of adds to the realism of it, which I think is really nice and of course very methodical, very well thought out and quite deliberate. You also have patchouli, which adds a little bit of earthiness, but it's only secondary to the oak. I'm getting a lot more oak than anything else. But of course, the main blast, the smell that you're going to get right in the opening are the fruits and the spices. And of course, you do have that pink grapefruit. You have a little bit of a peppery quality in the opening too. But right away, you get that saffron combining with that sweetness, that fruitiness. And it's a very full, luscious sort of a fragrance. And it actually does sort of convey a sense of relaxation. You know, there's certain beverages, you think about them and you think of relaxing, cozy atmosphere, bourbon, whiskey, cognac, and some of them, whether we're talking about a margarita accord or a mojito accord, they're a bit more lighthearted, a bit more fresh, more summery. And of course, this one is not summery per se. This one is more suited for the colder weather, I would say, on account of all these other ingredients in here, the resins, the patchouli, the oak, all of these with a higher or a lower volatility, higher molecular structure that will allow them to last for a much longer time on skin. And sure enough, the longevity for this fragrance is incredible. So we're talking 10 plus hours, which is the case for most precious liquid fragrances, which is another thing that I'm quite impressed by as far as this brand is concerned. But sangria, oak, spicy, boozy, cardamom is there, but not as strong as the saffron. And it's such an interesting fragrance.
We're gonna be testing out Sangria Oak by Precious Liquids. Now let's talk about the note breakdown of this scent profile, because it also sounds absolutely delicious. And listen, as somebody who's having a little cocktail right now, I wouldn't mind a sangrilla. So it starts off apparently with pink grapefruit rum, davana, pear, and actual sangria essence, which I'm assuming, depending on which one it is, it's gonna be like a red wine-ish fermented fruit grapey situation, followed by cardamom and saffron and sprinkled with elements of oak, labdanum, patchouli, and moss. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Red sangria. Oh, I like this. Oh, this is bringing me to hot weather. You can smell like the grape, you can smell the pear, you can smell the red wine. It almost has a port wine kind of sweetness. I love this. You get the little bit of a rum factor, you get that boozy element. fruity pear. I feel like I smell the apple. I smell the red wine. I get that light portness. You get that floral aromatic about it. Like with sangria, if you make a proper sangria, there's beautiful aromatics. There's something there that just gives you that, you know, once you put your nose to the glass, you're like, it's gonna be a good day.